Hey everybody, Boris, also PK Forex. Welcome to the weekly technicals for the majors for Euro dollar, dollar yen, and pound dollar, November 6th and November 10th, 2017. And it's really going to be all about the dollar trade next week. It's really going to be a pro-dollar trade, anti-dollar trade all across the spectrum. Nothing on the G7 calendar, no UK data, no US data, no EU data that's really of any import. There is some calm dollar data we'll take a look at, but even that, even though it's seemingly major on the calendar, I don't think it's going to have much of an impact as far as trade goes. The most important question going forward really is the market going to finally convince itself that the Fed is actually on a hiking path rather than just a one and done? The data this week, as we close out the week, was mixed. We had pretty good non-farm payrolls, but the wages continued to be very, very low. And that's a big concern for the market because the market basically at this point is just pricing the rate hike in December and then nothing else after that. In order for the Fed to go into a sustained tightening mode, you really need to have a pickup in wages, and that's really the key factor the market needs to convince itself of. Having said this, though, clearly the market ended up the dollar at the end of the week, and I think it's going to have some continuation as we go forward. Let's take a look at the levels. The levels pretty much remain the same. Euro 117, 115, although we are inching ever closer to that 115 level, especially as U.S. yields go up, because it becomes clear that U.S. policy now is diverging from European policy, which still remains pretty accommodative, whereas U.S. policy is really starting to tighten. Now, dollar yen faces this very, very, very critical test at the 115 level, and that's going to be the key to really, that's going to be a technical signal for us to determine whether we do have the dollar breakout or not. And then pound just kind of quagmiring itself. We had the BOE news this week. They did raise rates, but basically went on to say that it's going to be one and done, and that had a big disappointing impact on cable. Cable certainly feels like it wants to test the 130, but it does find a little bit of support there at this level. Taking a look at the calendar this week, really nothing much on the calendar of any import. We got services PMI data. All this is just final, nothing of really key data in the European zone. Trade balance, U of Michigan survey. I mean, that's it. That's really it. Just a very, very small smattering on the G7 front. It's not even really worth looking at. Looking at the charts here, and you can see. Sorry, this is a 5-minute chart. Let's take a look at the dailies. You can see the dailies here. How critical this whole 116 level is. We basically broke that level just a little bit last week, came back above it, and now ending up on the lows of the day. And it really feels like it just wants to pull itself through towards this 115 level. The big support in euro is 114. That was the sort of secondary breakout from the post-Macron rally that took us all the way out to the 120s. And now it really very much would be very synchronous if we completed this whole top, bringing ourselves down to 114 eventually. For now, though, it really looks to be a very decent test of a possible run towards the 115 level over the next couple of days, over the next week or so in the euro. Euro really remains a very, very low volatility trade for the time being, but closing on the lows today certainly gives you scope for further selling off. Again, the selling off in the euro is a function much more of dollar buying. That's really what I'm trying to say. And the same kind of a story, of course, is dollar buying here. Now, pretty impressive recovery twice in the yen here. 2 days in a row, they bought the dip at 1350. Even if the data wasn't great, we're pretty much closing on the highs of the day. It's almost aching to be bullish, right? I mean, the key thing here for us is we got this 1450 triple top formation. We really need to break through. We need to take out the 1450. That provides enormous amount of momentum impetus for us to really create a much more resolute upward trend. I mean, despite all of these slide backs, we've been in a continuous upward trend here. But a true breakout move needs to take place here to the 115 level. So next week will be crucial for us. Obviously, the big thing here is this. If we can see 247, 250 on a 10-year, if the yields can rally, yen can rally. A dollar can rally. It's just not just the yen, but all of the whole complex. Euro goes to 115, yen goes to 115. And pound drops to the 130s. So all of this really contingent so much on the yield story, and the bond market just has to buy the idea of the tightening of the curve as we go forward. So be watching that very, very carefully. on the yen. And here's finally the cable. Cable also just kind of ending up on the day's lows here as we close out the week here on Friday. You can see the massive slash and burn move from the Bank of England decision. But this 130 is a key support area. Gets broken here strictly, I think, on dollar flows. So does it look like they want to take the 130? I think so. But then coming to 130, there will be some support between 29 and 30. So possibly a small bounce over there. Aside from that, it's just literally pro anti-dollar this whole week long. Wish you guys the best of luck and best of trading. Boris Schlossberg, over and out.